For 5,000 years, a ring of stones has stood on the windswept plains of southern England, older than the pyramids, older than the written word, built by a people whose names we do not know, for reasons we still cannot fully explain. Tonight, we descend into the truth, the real science, the real mysteries, and the real discoveries made around Stonehenge, some buried for millennia, others hidden in plain sight. This is the story of the world's most enduring enigma, a place where archaeology meets astronomy, ritual meets engineering, and truth meets the dark corners of the unknown. Welcome to Stonehenge. No one alive today witnessed the birth of Stonehenge, when the first bones were buried here, when the first circular ditch was carved from chalk. Civilizations around the world were still learning to farm. It was around 3100 BC, the Neolithic era. Archaeologists call this earliest stage Stonehenge Phase 1. But one question rises immediately: why here? The site sits on a rare mix of geology, solid chalk, perfect for digging, and natural ridges that align almost perfectly east to west. Later, glacial science revealed that long before humans arrived, glaciers dragged enormous sarsen stones into this region, natural giants scattered across the plain. For the builders, this land was not ordinary. It was a sacred canvas placed by nature itself. Before the massive sarsen stones, Stonehenge was home to something else, the bluestones. Each one weighed between 2 and 4 tons. Each one was transported from the Preseli Hills in Wales, around 140 miles away. There were no wheels, no metal tools, no horses or oxen to pull them. Yet the stones made the journey. Archaeologists have proposed many theories, dragging them on sledges, rolling them on logs, or even floating them along a coastal and river route. But in 2014, researchers found the exact quarries in Wales. The chisel marks at these quarries matched the bluestones standing at Stonehenge. The journey happened, but how it happened remains a mystery, one carried through generations, likely tied to ritual, identity, and belief. Around 2500 BC, everything changed. This was when the builders brought in the largest stones, the sarsens. Some weighed 25 tons, some stood 30 feet tall. Moving them required thousands of people, engineering knowledge, and precise coordination. But the most astonishing part was the construction technique. The stones were carved with mortise and tenon joints and tongue and groove connections, techniques that would not show up in buildings again for thousands of years. Stonehenge was not crude or primitive. It was deliberate, engineered, and astonishingly advanced. For decades, people suspected Stonehenge had an astronomical function. Then came proof. On the summer solstice, the sun rises in perfect alignment with the monument's central axis. On the winter solstice, it sets in perfect alignment on the opposite side. Modern measurements confirm the alignments are precise, so precise that Stonehenge can track the longest and shortest days of the year almost perfectly. But why? Some believe it was a calendar, others a ritual gateway between life and death. Some think it encoded celestial knowledge, essential for survival and spiritual life. What we do know is this: the precision was intentional. Stonehenge is not random, it is purposeful. When archaeologists excavated the area, they found something unexpected. Stonehenge was once part of a massive landscape of the dead. The earliest structure was surrounded by cremated remains, dozens of them, making it the largest Neolithic cemetery in Britain. Many of the dead were men. Some were young, some were old, but many appeared to be individuals of high status. Then came the Aubrey holes, 56 pits arranged in a perfect circle. Some held stones, some held cremated remains, but their purpose remains unknown. Were they a calendar, a lunar tracker, a boundary for rituals? No one can say with certainty, but the evidence is clear. Stonehenge was never simply a monument. It was a place where the living and the dead met. Stonehenge does not stand alone. It is the centerpiece of a massive prehistoric complex. Modern technology, GPS, LiDAR, magnetometry revealed dozens of hidden monuments. Durrington Walls, the largest Neolithic settlement in northern Europe. Woodhenge, a wooden circle aligned with the midsummer sunrise. The Avenue, a ritual pathway leading from Stonehenge to the river. Long barrows, cursus monuments, burial mounds, and earthworks scattered across miles. Stonehenge was the heart of a sacred district, a ceremonial landscape rather than a single site. It was a world of monuments, connected by beliefs we cannot fully decode. Near Stonehenge lies Durrington Walls, a settlement filled with evidence of massive seasonal gatherings. Researchers found thousands of pig bones, most showing signs of feasting. Some pigs were brought from hundreds of miles away, proven by chemical analysis of their teeth. People from across Britain travelled here in winter, likely for rituals connected to the solstice. This was not a small tribe. This was a nationwide gathering, a unified people, returning here year after year to celebrate, something powerful enough to draw them from every corner of the island. Around 1600 BC, the activity at Stonehenge slowed. Then it stopped altogether. No more construction, no more burials, no more feasts or gatherings. Stonehenge was simply abandoned. Why? Some blame climate change. Others think cultural shifts brought new beliefs. Another possibility is that Stonehenge had completed its purpose. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain: the people who built it left without leaving a single written explanation long after its builders were gone. Stonehenge fell into the hands of storytellers. Medieval writers claimed it was built by Merlin, who magically transported the stones from Ireland. Renaissance scholars believed giants built it. Later groups claimed the Druids constructed it. But we now know Stonehenge was finished long before the Druids existed. The myths are beautiful, but historically false. The truth was waiting beneath the soil. In the last decades, Stonehenge has undergone a scientific revolution. DNA analysis revealed that some ancient people buried nearby had origins tracing back to Anatolia. Cremated remains showed that many of the earliest individuals came from Wales, the same region as the Bluestones. Pollen analysis reconstructed its ancient landscape. LIDAR uncovered lost monuments, and virtual simulations confirmed the solstice alignments with stunning accuracy. Modern science gave Stonehenge a new voice, and that voice told a story far more complex than any legend. In 2020, archaeologists announced a discovery that changed everything. A massive ring of deep pits 10 meters wide and 5 meters deep surrounded Durrington Walls. This was the largest prehistoric structure ever found in Britain. Its purpose is still unknown. It may have marked a sacred boundary, a ritual route, a warning to outsiders, or a cosmological symbol. Whatever its meaning, it proved one thing: Stonehenge was only the center of a far larger design. When researchers tested the bluestones, they found something unexpected. Some produce musical tones when struck. This has sparked theories that sound may have mattered to the builders, that Stonehenge was chosen not only for its alignment or its appearance, but for its voice. We cannot prove the stones were played, but the acoustic properties are real. The monument may once have sung. Today, through science, we know more about the builders of Stonehenge than ever before. They were farmers. They raised cattle. They built homes arranged in identical layouts across Britain. They migrated over long distances. They honored their dead through cremation. They gathered at solstices for shared rituals, and they worked together on a scale that required leadership, planning, and extraordinary cooperation. They had no writing, no cities, no metal tools, but they had knowledge, skill, community, and a belief strong enough to shape the landscape for thousands of years. Even with centuries of research, the biggest mysteries of Stonehenge remain. Why was it built? Was it a temple to the sun, a gateway for the dead, a place of healing, a place of gathering, a celestial map carved in stone? How were the stones moved? Why were some brought from so far away? And why was the entire complex abandoned? Some questions may never be answered, but perhaps that is part of Stonehenge's power. Its mystery is what keeps it alive. Stonehenge stands today not because it survives, but because it refuses to be fully understood. Every generation uncovers something new. Every discovery solves one puzzle and creates another. Stonehenge reminds us that even without writing, a civilization can leave a message so powerful that it echoes across 5 millennia. A message of memory, of ritual, of belief, of a world that once existed and still whispers through the stones. The truth of Stonehenge gonna be fully known, but perhaps it was never meant to be. Some monuments do not explain the past, they challenge the future.